Hello, welcome. So in this tutorial we'll be actually making an assembly for like a throttle pedal. Someone sent it to me to make it. So this is the first part that we are going to be making. The dimensions are not complete, but I'll be referencing some of these dimensions, and feel free to follow. So start a new part file and click OK. And instead of modeling this way, the example that I saw, the person modeled it in sheet metal, and we are going to actually be using sheet metal to model it, so that way we can bend it and we can unfold it. So to start, click the top plane. So I have my top plane. I'm just going to move over here. Make sure that your unit is in inches, and I'm going to change my image quality and click OK. So on the top plane, click go on the sheet metal tab. If you don't have the sheet metal, right click anywhere on this tabs and you should see the sheet metal. Just make sure that's checked, and select the top plane and select that, I forget what it's called, but select that first tab thing on the sheet metal, and it's going to bring you to a sketch. So you need a sketch. So let's just draw like a corner rectangle, something that's starting up here and going right there, something like that. And then just add your dimension. The length for this is 7.5, and the dimension here is 3.25. So once we have that, you can exit your sketch, and it goes right into the extrude. So what it's doing is it's just like the extrude. It's trying to extrude it. It's fine. It's extruding it down. That's exactly what we want. And you want it 1.125. And you can leave all these other factors the same way and click OK. So now you've extruded, and now the sheet metal tab has been added in these folders. So the next thing we need to do is add the edge flange. So click on the edge flange. And this I'm just going to go I'm just going to click on the top face. Make sure I'm on the top face, and if you want to make sure you are on the right face, so if you click this face, you see I'm actually on the top face. So now what I need to do is I need to select two edges to add my flange to. So again, we are going to select in this flange perimeter, select this edge, and in that flange perimeter again also select this edge. So we are adding it to those two edges. But this stuff is pretty sensitive. Make sure you are going in this direction, and once you select the edge, click once in this direction, so that way you make sure you're going in that direction. As you can see, I've clicked, so I'm going in that direction. And you can also change it here, but here we want to change this value to and if your radius isn't 1.5 over here, 0.125, you can uncheck this and change it, but mine is 1.125, so that's what I need. And over here, this is going to be 1.1875. So that's the unit I want, 1.187. You can see that's short now. Select this first tab, select that first tab. Everything looks good. Make sure this is 90 and click OK. So now we have that tab. We are just doing this in sheet metal, so just to show you how to use it. If it was like normal sketch, all we need to do is draw this profile and then just extrude it and we'll be done. The good thing about the sheet metal is now these folders are here, and if I just go down here, I can actually unfold this. You see, turns it into, and I can also suppress it and it folds it back. That's the reason why this is good. So moving on, and let me just make sure I'm on the top plane. Yes, good. So, and that is going down good. So that's exactly what we want. So now all we need to do is on this face, sketch, draw a sketch, and I'm just going to draw a line here and there, but let me go normal too. So normal too, so I have something like this, right? And looking at this is on the back side, so make sure this line is kind of coincident with that, and make sure this line is coincident with that. And now we want to add our dimension. From here to here is 1.25, and the radius from this edge to that edge is 6, and from this edge to this edge is 0.5, and the radius here is 29. So from here, not the radius, I mean, I probably said the radius for that, I mean angle, sorry. The angle is excuse me, 29. So our sketch is fully defined. All we need to do is just close it off. So you can draw a line sticking out. So close it off, and let me move this dimension out of the way, and I'm just going to fully define my sketch because I like fully defined. Just add a dimension here just to make sure everything is fully defined. Then go to the feature, extrude cut, and you want to extrude through all, and click OK. Good. So now we have that feature. Now what we can do is add our fillet to this edge and that edge, and the same thing here and here. All, and the fillet is going to be 0.125, and click OK. So good, that's done. And let me just move my stuff over here because the drawing is in the way. So again, normal to this plane. So we want to draw, cut the part out. So on this face, sketch, go to your arc. So this one I'm using is the 3-point arc. So click this side and click that side and just click up here. So you click in 3 times. Make sure this point and this point is horizontal to each other. Make sure this arc and that edge is tangent to each other. So now we can add our dimensions from that point to that point. It is going to be 0.25, and our arc is actually fully defined and we don't really need a radius, so that's all you need. Again, close it off, close your sketch off, jump something like that. Make sure this is vertical, and just add a dimension here so everything is fully defined. And feature, extrude cut, and through all, and click OK. Good. So we have and that is done. The next thing we want to do is draw that hole in there. So what we are going to do is click on this face, sketch, normal to, just draw a hole somewhere over here. The diameter is 0.2, and the distance is from here to that is 1.25, and the distance from here to here is also 0.5. So let me make sure everything, not 0.5, I'm sorry, I have it wrong, 0.7. So that is 0.7. So yes, so right here 0.25 and 0.7, and feature, extrude cut, blind through all, and click OK. Good. So we have that. So the next thing we need to do is we can add a radius over here, on this back end, and it's also going to be 0.125. I'm going to add it to this edge as well, and click OK. And now we need another radius up here, 0.425, and I'm just going to add it to this edge and that edge, and click OK. Good. So we're almost done with this part. You see everything looks pretty good. So now we need a plane. We need a plane in the middle because the way we start our sketch, our plane is on this side. So if you, one way you can draw a plane in the center is click this face and click that face, and SolidWorks automatically puts a plane in this at the center. That's what we need, and click OK. So now we have the plane in the center. Click that plane and sketch and number 2. So we have that, and I'm just going to section this so I see what's going on. So now I want to draw, the reason why I did that is I just want to draw this profile straight. I don't want to have to draw the square and cut it. I just want to draw that profile straight. So I'm just going to draw something like this somewhere. Make sure it's coincident with that. Draw something like that, and draw like a circle here. Make the circle tangent to those lines, and also make the circle tangent to this line. Let me uncheck that tangent. Maybe I don't need this line, and I'm just going to trim this off. And the dimension from this face, so you can do the top face to the center line of that, is 5.25. Not 5.25, I'm sorry, 0.525. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And the radius for this circle is 0.225. And we also need one more, so the dimension from the back side to here is 3.050. Click OK. So make sure your sketch is closed, and we are going to draw the circle inside, and the circle in it is 2. So make that 2. Our sketch is fully defined. Exit sketch. We have something like that, and I can hide this plane for now. And I'm just going to feature, extrude this sketch, and I want to extrude it by the mid plane, and it is going to be 0.65, and click OK. And if I unsection that, so we have that in the middle. So click this plane again. I did that wrong, so let me go back. So I want to select those two. So let me edit this, and I just want to make sure that and this contour, this is also selected. So make sure that's also selected and click OK. And now I have that hole in it. That's exactly what I want. Select this plane again, sketch, number 2. Now at this point I want to I'll section it again, and I'm going to show this sketch for now, and I just want to draw a rectangle somewhere in here, something like that. It doesn't have to be, just make sure that it's something, make sure it is not coincident with that tangent line, just something in there. And okay, so add a dimension from this line to that sketch line is going to be 0.1, and all I need to do is just, this sketch is sticking out, which is what I want. All I need is to do, I can actually make it coincident with this, coincident with that, and I want it sticking out, and I just add a dimension here, and 0.6 is good. So I have something like that sticking out, and now I want to feature extrude cut by the mid plane, and it is going to be 0.45. So something like that, and click OK. Good. So we have that, and now I can just hide this sketch, and this part is pretty much almost done. The only thing we need now is those designs on the top. So click on the top face, sketch, draw just something like this for now, kind of like something like that. Draw a center line. So if you click, because this part is pretty much the same distance, so if you click on this, that's pretty much the center line. I'm just going to draw a line over there and make it a construction line. And now I'm just going to add my dimension from here to here is 2. This is 15. No, it's 115. And this line and this line are parallel to each other, and from here the dimension for this is 0.3, and the dimension here is, so you want this going this way, is 0.75. And so we just need to specify the distance. So for now, this doesn't really matter, so we can just do a dimension from here to here, and let's make it 0.38. So you should have something like that. And once you are done, what we are going to do is extrude it. So I'm going to exit the sketch, or even before I exit the sketch, I can just go into my feature, extrude. So I'm extruding that up, and it is going to be 0.05. No, not centimeters, 0.05. 0.05 inches. Then select your draft, and this is going to be 68. So if I zoom in, you should see 68, and click OK. And you have that pattern. And the next thing we're going to do is add a fillet to it. So fillet, click on the fillet, and it's going to be 0.025. And I click on that face, click on that face, click on that face, and click on this face. So I have my fillet. Click OK. Good. So now all we need to do is just go number 2. All we need to do is just add a linear pattern. So linear pattern, the direction, we can select this edge and we can flip it so it's going in that direction. The number is 6. Then the feature we want to pattern, we will select this boss feature and the fillets, and in here, and we'll just change this to make it look something like that. I think that looks good. Or 0.1, not 0.1, so do 0.9. So 6.9. Make sure you select the boss and the fillet and click OK. We have that feature, and the next thing we need to do is just mirror it over. So mirror on that plane we made in the center, that feature, make sure the feature selected the linear pattern and click OK. And there you go, we are done with this first part of that of our assembly. So the good thing, I know this took a while, And the reason why I wanted to show you this sheet metal way is now we have this part. Let me just minimize this for a second, and if I go down here and again if I unsuppress that, you can see it actually it flattens it, and if I suppress it again, we have that. So save this. So save it somewhere. I'm going to save on my desktop and just name it as part 1. So name it part 1 and save. So moving on to the next one. So start a new part file, and again make sure your unit is in inches. Mine should be okay. Click OK. So now again on the sheet metal, this base, now we want to select the top plane. So I'm just going to draw another sketch, something like that, and this dimension is going to be 2.91 and this is going to be 5.5. So we have that. Exit sketch, and again we have extruding it 0.125. That's what we want. Click OK, and now click on the top face and go normal too. So while we are looking at it from the top face, we want to not select the plane, so unselect the plane. So I'm just going to exit that. So edge flange, and while you click on your edge flange, we want to, and while we are in here, select this top edge, select that edge, you get in this profile again and select this edge, and I'm just going to move it somewhere there and click here, so just to lock it. So now that it's locked, I can now change my perimeters in here. Everything looks good except for I'm going to change my distance to 1.125. So make sure this tab and that tab is selected, everything looks good, and click OK. So that's what we want. And I have a drawing for it, so I'm just going to show my drawings again, and it's this drawing. So I know there's a lot going on, but just follow with me. So now the next thing we need to do is cut the stuff on the side. So click this face, sketch, and I'm going to just draw a line there and there. I'm going normal too, so move it somewhere over here. So from here to here it's going to be 0.5. From here, so this circle from here to here is going to be 0.8, and this is going to be 21 degrees the angle, and I'll just move this back, make sure this line is that point is coincident with that. So 21, this point shouldn't be coincident with that, so from here to here it should be 0.8. So it should be that. So you should have 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 21. No, this is actually, let's change this to 21.11. So which is still 21. And now I'm just going to close my sketch. And I'm just going to add a dimension to fully define it. And that was good. So that's what I have. Feature, extrude cut, select that sketch, true all, and click OK. So we have that. So the next thing we need to do is cut a hole. So we click on this face, sketch, number 2, just going to bring it up somewhere up here. I'm going to draw a circle somewhere in here, and the dimension I'm referencing is over here. So from this back edge to the circle is 0.747, and from this center point to that is 0.722, and as you can see it's right here. Let me make sure that I'm referencing it right. Let me move this back here. No, I don't want to do that, and I need a radius for my circle. Diameter, the dimension is 2, so make that 2. No, not 2, 0.2. So 0.2, and let me change my units to 3. It isn't 3. Not sure what's going on. Why do I keep clicking help? So alright, I'll figure what's going on later. So make sure you have this dimension, and you can reference it here, 0.72 and 0.747, and I'm just going to click feature, extrude cut, blind, true, all, and click OK. Good. So now we are going to draw, cut this circle in the center. So click on this face, sketch, number 2. We just draw a circle somewhere over here, and I'm going to draw a line that is, this yellow thing means that's the center line. So I'm just going to draw a line from there to that circle, make that line a construction line, and I'm going to add a dimension from here to here. It is going to be 2.435. I'm just thinking something, I'm making sure. See, I did that wrong. Oops. So delete this. That dimension should be from this edge, this top edge. So if I go number 2, so from this edge to there, that should be the 2.435. As you can see, it is over here, and apparent over here, so it is 2.435. Yes, sorry. So make sure that when you add this circle, make sure that the 2.435 is from wherever this short angle is. So I'm just going to go number 2 and move it over here, then add my dimension, which is going to be 1.270, and make sure this line is vertical, so everything is fully defined. And now I'm just going to feature, extrude cut up to next, and click OK. Good. So click on this face again, and draw a sketch, and number 2. Again, my top part is up there, so I'm just making sure. Number 2, I'm going to bring it over here, and now I'm going to draw like a center straight slot, something like that. And I'm just going to bring it over here, and I will show the sketch for this for now. Show the sketch, so that way I can just pick that point and draw another line that I'm going to use as a reference. And as you can see, from here to here, the angle here is 45. This slot is 2.25, and it is the distance of that center line is 0.29. So that's how long it is. Then we need to just find, so this is not really critical, so you can just kind of like bring it somewhere over here, and I can just add a dimension from here to here and from here to here, just to fully define it. So I'm just trying to draw this pattern, and maybe this, I can make this 0.5. Try and see something that's close. So that seems close, and so the next thing I would do is just draw the second one, which is this one, this circle, and that circle seems to be somewhere over here, and it is coincident with the center point of this, so I can just match that vertically and horizontally, and this is going to be 0.31, and all I need is the distance, and I can make this, let me try that and see where, yeah, that seems to work. So just make the distance coincident with the vertical with this point and that line vertical. So my sketch is fully defined. I'm going to feature, extrude cut, blind up to next, and I have that. And what I can do is actually click on this circular pattern, the circle, I select that edge. Let me hide my sketch because the sketch is not, so circular pattern, perimeters, in the perimeters I'll select this edge, and the feature I'll select my extrude cut. And how many times, let me just show you what's going on. So I'm going to pattern it 4 times, and so I'm trying to pattern it 4 times, and I realize what I did wrong, which is okay. So what I would do now is I'll still pattern it 4 times, because this cut is wrong, the slot cut is wrong. So what I would do is the circle is right, I need that 4 times. So on this extrude cut, and it's good that I'm doing this, so that way sometimes, because you'll model something and the idea you have is wrong, so you can kind of fix it, which is what I like about SolidWorks. So this cut, I'm just going to go back into that, edit that sketch, and I'm just going to make this a use this green thing to select this whole sketch and make it a I guess I can't do that because I'm selecting. So select that, and where is my, so I can't make it a construction line, so never mind. I guess I'm going to have to delete this and edit this sketch and make this a construction line, the circle a construction line. We'll use it later. So go back, and I apologize for that, go back. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. So I'm going to, I know what to do. So draw a line over here and make this line a construction line. So now I'm going to mirror entities, and entities to mirror, I'm going to select the slot about, mirror it about this line, and click OK. And again, I'm going to select mirror entity, entities to mirror this and that about this line, and click OK. And that's exactly what I want, and now I'm just going to exit that, so I have it in the right place. So now what the next thing I need to do is click on that face, sketch, and because I already have my yes, because I'm going to show that sketch, number 2, Then this circle, I'm just going to convert entity, and I can hide that sketch now because I don't need it. Then feature, extrude cut, up to next. What am I doing? Up to next, and click OK. And now I can mirror this 4 times. So I'm going to go, not mirror, circular pattern 4 times, perimeter, that edge, feature, select this face, 4 equal spacing, and click OK. Okay, so click on this face again, sketch, number 2. We're just going to draw one more pattern. So again, line, hover over here, you should see this center point. Let's draw a center line somewhere over there and make this a construction line. And I'm going to draw another center slot, something over here, something like that, and move it this way, and move this somewhere over there. And I'm just going to add a dimension to it, and it is going to be 0.29. And from here to here, I'm going to make that 0.375. And from here to here, this point is going to be 0.465, and this is a 0.25. So that's what we have, and I need the same thing up here. So I'm just going to draw one like that. I can move this back a little bit. It needs to be kind of like the same as that one, so I'm just going to make that line, this line, this point to that point, 0.29, right? Yes, 0.29. This is 0.25, and from here to here it is going to be 0.5. Let's try 0.5. So that looks good. And this, I'm just going to mirror this over. So mirror entity, that mirror about this line. Click OK. Good. So now all we need to do is extrude cut, up to next, click OK. So we have the patterns we want. So the next thing we need to do is, again, let's draw a midpoint, mid plane. So select this face and select this face, click OK. So we have our plane, and select that plane and sketch, number 2. So now we want to draw this feature over here. So we're just going to draw 2 lines up here and another line over here, and draw a circle that's tangent to both lines. So tangent, and draw a circle, tangent. I'm going to trim it, and I'm going to add a dimension, not close it off, and I'm going to draw a circle in there. So I have something like that, which is this. So now I just need to add my dimension. So from this face to that center line is 0.64, and from this edge to that center line is 1.6. That's okay. We're going to fix it. So 1.6, and the radius for this is 0.4. So it's 0.4. So brings that close, and this is 0.35. 0.35. Yes. So everything is fully defined. There you have it. And we are going to feature extrude by the mid plane. And it is going to be 0.65. And click OK. So we have that extrude 0.65. Then we select that plane again. Sketch. Number 2. Just gonna move it here. I'm going to draw just kind of like a rectangle, something like that. I'm going to show this sketch of this, so I see what I'm doing. And dimension from here to here is going to be 1.125, and I'm going to just make this coincident with that, and just add a dimension to fully define it. So I have that, something like that. Hide the sketch. Feature extrude cut about the mid plane, and it's going to be 0.4, and click OK. Good. So we have that, and now we want to I'm going to hide this plane, and click on this face, sketch, and number 2. And this edge, I'm just going to convert entity, and I'm going to draw another sketch, diameter, and the diameter is going to be 1.52, and feature extrude, extruded 0.2, and click OK. So we have that. So now all we need to do is add fillet. So fillet 0.05, and I want to add it over there, this edge, that edge, and this back edge, and click OK. And we also need another fillet 0.15, and we want to add it over here, 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 and the same thing on this side, here, here, and there, and click OK. And we are done with this part. Again, I wanted to show you the sheet metal way, because you can bend, you can bend it, and you can flatten it. So save this part, save it as save part 2, and click OK. Save, and we are moving on to the next one.